Nobody saw this coming, not even the Love and Hip Hop cameras. Kirk Frost, the man known for his cold, calculated moves, has just been caught in the most explosive scandal of the season. After a brutal showdown with Rashida that had producers scrambling to cut the feed, things turned ugly in a way nobody predicted. Yandy, who thought she was stepping in to calm the storm, suddenly found herself at the center of Kirk's rage, and what went down next has the entire cast in shock. Witnesses say voices turned to screams, fists slammed on tables, and in a shocking moment, Kirk launched at Yandy with an intensity that left everyone frozen. But here's the kicker. Insiders claim this wasn't just about the fight with Rashida. It's about a secret that Yandy has been holding all along. When it comes to Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, the drama has always been larger than life. But what unfolded on this particular night left even the most seasoned cast members shaken. To understand why Kirk Frost, usually quiet, usually the man lurking in the background while Rashida holds the spotlight, would snap at Yandy of all people, you have to rewind and look at how this season's tension built to the breaking point. This wasn't just a fight that came out of nowhere. No, this was years of betrayal, jealousy, and whispered secrets boiling over in front of the cameras. It all started earlier in the season when Rashida and Yandy's friendship began to show cracks. At first, fans brushed it off as just another reality TV feud. But those who know the show's history saw the signs. Rashida and Yandy had been allies, often standing side by side when other women came for their marriages or questioned their loyalty. Yet the trust between them was never as strong as it seemed. Behind closed doors, Yandy allegedly started airing out Rashida's personal issues most dangerously, questioning Kirk's role as a husband and father. According to insiders, Yandy privately told other cast members that Rashida was living in denial about Kirk's loyalty, fueling speculation that he was still sneaking around. Now, if you know Rashida, you know she does not play when it comes to her marriage. She's weathered Kirk's cheating scandals before. But the last thing she was going to tolerate was another cast member dragging her personal life for the cameras. Sources close to production leaked that Rashida confronted Yandy during a dinner scene weeks before the reunion. Calling her out for being messy at first, it seemed like just a typical argument. But that was the spark that lit the fuse by the time the cast filmed their reunion. The energy in the room was already heavy. Rashida walked in tight-lipped, while Kirk was eerily silent, scanning the set like he was ready for war. Yandy, on the other hand, went live on her phone before the cameras even rolled, hyping her followers and dropping cryptic hints about exposing fake marriages. That single move sent chills through Rashida, who was seen whispering angrily to Kirk, "She's coming for us." The reunion began with normal recaps, old fights revisited, grudges rehashed, but it wasn't long before Rashida and Yandy were front and center. The argument turned vicious fast, with Rashida screaming that Yandy was trying to tear down families for clout while Yandy shot back, accusing Rashida of covering up for a cheating man. The entire set was in chaos, cast members trying to intervene while producers yelled for security to stand by. But the breaking point came when Yandy crossed a line no one thought she'd dare to cross. She looked Rashida dead in the eyes and said, "You doing all this protecting Kirk, but you ain't protecting yourself. How about you tell everybody what he's been doing with Erica?" The second those words left Yandy's mouth, the room exploded. Rashida's face dropped, Kirk's body stiffened, and Erica, seated off to the side, gasped so loud it was picked up by every microphone on set. That's when Kirk lost control. Witnesses say he slammed his hand on the table so hard drinks flew into the air, and then he stood up, towering over Yandy, yelling, "Keep my wife's name out your mouth before I shut it for you." Security tried to step in, but in that moment, Kirk lunged toward Yandy, his anger blinding him. Cast members screamed. Rashida stood frozen, and Yandy, instead of backing down, held her ground and shouted right back, "Do it! Show them who you really are, Kirk." The cameras caught it all, the push, the chaos, the near-physical clash that had everyone believing the reunion was officially over. But here's where the story takes a darker twist. According to insiders, this wasn't just about Yandy mentioning Erica. Behind the scenes, there had already been whispers that Yandy had receipts, messages, photos, and late-night DMs proving that Kirk had been keeping secrets not only from Rashida, but from production itself. Some allege that Yandy got her hands on evidence meant for Rashida's eyes only, and she planned to use the reunion stage as the perfect moment to drop the bombshell. Whether that's true or not, one thing is clear. Kirk knew Yandy had something. And his attack was fueled not only by rage, but by fear. The reunion ended abruptly after the outburst. Security escorted Kirk backstage while Rashida sat in tears trying to regain her composure. Yandy stormed off set, still streaming live to her followers, saying, "Y'all saw it with your own eyes." Kirk don't want the truth out. Producers were left scrambling, unsure if the footage could even air without legal consequences. And yet, the real question remains, what exactly does Yandy know about Kirk Frost that made him snap in front of everyone? Could Erica really be involved in this web of betrayal? Or is there an even bigger secret waiting to be exposed? When the cameras cut and security managed to separate Kirk from Yandy, the reunion descended into complete chaos. Fans at home would only see a fraction of it when the episode aired. But what happened backstage that night was far worse than anyone expected. Kirk wasn't just angry, he was shaking, pacing, yelling at producers, demanding they shut down filming immediately. "This ain't going to air, y'all hear me?" he shouted, his voice echoing down the hallway. Meanwhile, Rashida was left sitting on stage with tears streaming down her face. Castmates like Carly Red and Spice rushed to console her, but Rashida wasn't hearing a word. Her eyes were locked on the spot where Yandy had been standing, her chest heaving with betrayal and fury. To Rashida, it wasn't just about Yandy throwing accusations, it was about Yandy knowing something. And the fact that Kirk reacted with such explosive rage only made the whispers feel even louder. Backstage, Yandy had barricaded herself in her dressing room with her phone still in hand. She was live on Instagram, pacing back and forth while recounting what just went down. "Y'all saw him. He came at me like he was ready to put his hands on me. Why? Because I told the truth. Rashida deserves better. And I ain't gonna sit around watching her protect a man who don't respect." Her thousands of viewers poured into the live, flooding the comments with fire emojis, crying faces, and shocked reactions. Some begged Yandy to drop the so-called receipts right then and there, while others accused her of clout chasing. But one thing was undeniable. Yandy had the internet on fire. Production staff begged her to end the stream. "You can't go live about this. This footage is confidential," they pleaded. But Yandy wasn't backing down. "Confidential. Please. These fans been knowing Kirk ain't clean. The only person in denial is Rashida. And I'm not going to be part of covering it up." Then she said the line that broke the internet. "If they don't air it, I will." Word of Yandy's live stream spread through the building like wildfire. Erica, the woman at the center of the allegations, was cornered by producers and grilled about what she knew. She looked nervous, stumbling over her words, refusing to answer direct questions. According to insiders, Erica finally muttered, "I don't want to be the one to ruin their marriage," before breaking down in tears. That moment convinced many that Yandy wasn't bluffing. Something had gone down between Kirk and Erica, and the truth was bubbling to the surface whether production liked it or not. Meanwhile, Kirk was raging in his dressing room, smashing a water bottle against the wall and screaming that Yandy was trying to destroy his family. "I don't care what she'll say. She ain't got nothing on me," he barked at producers. But when one staffer asked him directly if Erica was lying, Kirk fell silent. That silence spoke volumes. Rashida eventually made her way backstage. Her face streaked with tears, but her posture tense like a woman ready to fight. She walked straight past security and into Kirk's dressing room, slamming the door behind her. What followed was a screaming match so loud that castmates in the hallway stopped in their tracks. "Is it true, Kirk?" Rashida cried, her voice breaking. "Don't stand there and let another woman tell the world you cheating on me again. Say something." But Kirk didn't answer. His fists clenched, his chest heaving. He just stared at the floor while Rashida sobbed. The silence told her everything she didn't want to know. In that instant, Rashida wasn't just embarrassed, she was shattered. Yandy, still streaming, caught wind that Rashida had confronted Kirk. She grinned at the camera and said, "And there it is, y'all." The truth coming to light. He can't even deny it to his own wife. Fans watching the live went ballistic, posting comments like, "Drop the receipts," and "We need the screenshots." Twitter erupted within minutes, with hashtags like #KirkExposed and #YandySpills trending across the platform. But the drama didn't stop there. According to multiple insiders, Yandy wasn't bluffing about the receipts. She had screenshots of late-night DMs between Kirk and Erica, photos of him showing up at her hotel during a cast trip, and even voice notes of Kirk making promises he had no business making as a married man. Rumors circulated that Yandy had received these receipts anonymously from someone close to Erica, who was fed up with Kirk's double life. The question wasn't if Yandy would release them, but when. Producers panicked. They knew if Yandy leaked those receipts on social media before the reunion aired, the entire season's storyline would collapse. They tried to negotiate with her, promising more airtime, bigger paychecks, anything to keep her quiet until the reunion aired. But Yandy's trust in production was gone. "Y'all tried to silence me once," she snapped. "Not again." By the end of the night, the reunion was officially shut down. Cast members were escorted out under heavy security. Kirk and Rashida leaving in separate cars, a shocking sight for fans who had always seen them ride out together. Yandy, on the other hand, strutted out with her phone still live, waving at the cameras like she had just won a championship belt. "Stay tuned," she teased her followers. "Y'all ain't seen nothing yet," and she was right. Because what came next would shake love and hip-hop Atlanta and Rashida's marriage to its core. The morning after the explosive reunion, Atlanta woke up to a storm. Social media was flooded with clips of Yandy's live fan reactions and grainy behind-the-scenes footage of Kirk being restrained by security. But the biggest bombshell came at 9 a.m. when Yandy dropped what she had teased the night before, the receipts, on her Instagram stories. Yandy posted a blurred screenshot with the caption, "This is just the beginning. Don't play with me." Within minutes, blogs like The Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked, and Gossip of the City had reposted it, speculating it was a message from Kirk to Erica. By noon, Yandy posted the full screenshot, a late-night DM that read, "You know, you the one I wish I could really be with. Rashida don't understand me like you do." Fans went feral. The comments section exploded with thousands of shocked emojis, accusations, and heartbreak for Rashida. Some begged her to leave Kirk immediately, while others claimed Yandy was messy for exposing private messages. But Yandy wasn't done. Oh no, she had more. She followed up with a voice note. In the audio, a man who sounded exactly like Kirk could be heard saying, "I'll come by your hotel after the taping. Just don't tell nobody. Rashida think I'm headed home." That was the clip that sent shockwaves through the fandom. The hashtag Kirk Hotel Receipts trended for hours, with fans dissecting every word, comparing the voice to Kirk's past interviews, and tagging Rashida, demanding answers. By afternoon, Erica was trending too. Fans swarmed her comments, calling her a homewrecker, a snake, and worse. She went live in tears saying, "Y'all don't understand. I didn't ask for none of this. He came to me. I didn't want to ruin their marriage. But now my name getting dragged like I'm the bad guy." Her breakdown only added more fuel to the fire, with some siding with her and others accusing her of playing victim. Kirk, meanwhile, went completely silent. No posts, no lives, no statements. His Instagram page, usually filled with flashy cars and family pictures, went dark. Fans noticed he even turned off comments on old posts. To the public, that silence was an admission of guilt. But the real twist came when another leak surfaced, and it didn't come from Yandy, an anonymous source, sent a set of photos to a popular gossip page showing Kirk outside a hotel at 2 a.m. The date matched the cast's out-of-town trip for filming. In one of the photos, Kirk appeared to be hugging a woman who looked suspiciously like Erica. The pictures weren't crystal clear. They were damning enough to tip the scales. Suddenly, it wasn't just Yandy versus Kirk. The internet had undeniable evidence. Rashida's world collapsed. Insiders claimed she left her home and stayed with a close friend for several nights after the reunion. She unfollowed Kirk on Instagram, deleted recent pictures of them together, and posted a cryptic message. A woman can only take so much before she breaks. Fans immediately flooded her comments with support, urging her to leave Kirk for good. But just when it seemed like the scandal couldn't get worse, a new layer unfolded. Rumors started circulating that Erica wasn't the only one. Allegedly, Yandy had more receipts involving other women Kirk had supposedly entertained while still married to Rashida. One insider claimed Yandy only dropped part of it. She's sitting on a whole vault. If Kirk keeps threatening her, she's ready to release everything. This revelation turned the situation nuclear. Blogs began running stories titled, "How many women has Kirk Frost really cheated with?" and "Rashida humiliated again." Fans debated whether Rashida was complicit in covering up Kirk's infidelity for the sake of their brand, or if she truly had no idea. Meanwhile, VH1 producers were in a state of panic. The scandal had spiraled beyond their control, and the footage from the reunion now looked tame compared to the chaos erupting online. The network faced a tough choice: try to suppress the leaks or lean into them and capitalize on the scandal. And given how much the story had already consumed social media, insiders whispered that executives were leaning toward the latter. What nobody expected, though, was Rashida herself to speak out directly. Late one evening, she posted a video to her Instagram where she appeared visibly drained but determined. In the video, she said, "I know y'all seen the blogs. I know y'all seen what Yandy posted. And yeah, it hurts. But let me say this. Don't nobody got the right to put my marriage on blast like that. Whatever Kirk did or didn't do, that's between me and him. So, Yandy, keep my name out your mouth. Period." That statement shocked everyone. Instead of publicly dragging Kirk, Rashida had turned her anger on Yandy. Fans were split. Some praised Rashida for standing by her man, saying marriage is about working through the hard times. Others slammed her for protecting Kirk while attacking the one person who told her the truth. Yandy, of course, wasn't about to let Rashida's statement slide. Within hours, she clapped back on her live. "Girl, don't come for me. I didn't cheat on you. I didn't sneak around behind your back. Your husband did? Don't shoot the messenger, 'cause you embarrassed. If you mad, be mad at Kirk. Be mad at the truth." The feud escalated into an all-out war of words online. Rashida's supporters accused Yandy of trying to destroy a family for clout. Yandy's fans clapped back, saying she was being real and that Rashida was in denial. The comment sections were like battlegrounds, with fans taking sides, trading insults, and sharing memes of the trio that went viral across Twitter and TikTok. But the biggest cliffhanger came when Yandy teased another round of receipts. At the end of her live, she smirked and said, "Y'all think it's just one woman? Y'all ain't ready for the rest. Stay tuned." And just like that, the entire hip-hop world was holding its breath, waiting to see what would drop next. By the time the sun set on the third day of the scandal, the drama had escalated into something no one could have predicted. What started as a heated reunion clash had ballooned into one of the messiest, most chaotic love and hip-hop sagas in recent memory. And the chaos was no longer just contained to the cast. It had spread to producers, executives, and even other celebrities chiming in with their 2 cents. VH1's internal crisis meetings leaked almost immediately. Multiple outlets reported that producers were divided on how to handle the situation. Some wanted to cut Yandy's explosive receipts from the reunion footage too, to protect the brand, fearing lawsuits from Kirk and Rashida. Others insisted that cutting the drama would be ratings suicide, arguing that audiences tuned in for the chaos and VH1 couldn't afford to water it down. Behind the scenes, one source claimed Rashida had directly contacted producers and demanded certain clips be removed. She doesn't want her marriage humiliated on national TV, the insider revealed. She feels like she already took enough heat on social media, and airing everything would just destroy her. But here's the twist. Yandy allegedly threatened to walk if her footage was edited out. "Don't play with me," she told producers in a tense call, according to insiders. "If y'all think you can silence me to protect Kirk, I'll leak the uncut tapes myself." That threat sent shockwaves through the network. Because if Yandy really had the kind of vault she hinted at, VH1's control over the narrative could vanish overnight. Meanwhile, new leaks kept dripping like a faucet. A Twitter account claiming to be an anonymous crew member posted a short clip from Backstage at the reunion, Yandy holding her phone up to Rashida, yelling, "You want to see? You really want to see what your husband's been up to?" Rashida looked stunned, her jaw dropping as Erica tried to walk away from the argument. The clip was only 20 seconds long, but it racked up millions of views in hours, further fueling speculation about what else hadn't been shown. Speculation about what else hadn't been shown. But the real escalation came when celebrities outside the LHHATL universe started weighing in. Tamar Braxton posted a cryptic tweet, "Ain't no loyalty out here. Protect your peace, sis," which fans immediately interpreted as shade at Rashida for standing by Kirk. Cardi B went live on Instagram and bluntly said, "See, that's why I don't play with marriage on reality TV. Y'all putting your whole business out there. And then when it blow up, y'all mad? But Yandy ain't wrong. She's showing the truth." Even 50 Cent, known for inserting himself into viral drama, jumped in on Instagram with a meme of Kirk running out of a hotel captioned, "Not Frost again." Somebody get this man a chill pill. His post alone added gasoline to the fire, sparking another round of memes across Twitter and TikTok. Fans were now split into three camps. Some sided with Yandy, praising her for exposing Kirk's lies and holding men accountable. Others backed Rashida, arguing she was the true victim of both Kirk's betrayal and Yandy's public humiliation. And a third group simply reveled in the mess, creating endless jokes, edits, and parody skits about the scandal. And then the bombshell nobody saw coming dropped. A new woman came forward. A young boutique owner in Atlanta posted a now viral TikTok claiming she too had been involved with Kirk. In her video, she said, "I didn't want to speak on this, but since everybody dragging Yandy, let me just say, she ain't lying. Kirk was in my DMs too. He came to my store, acted like he wanted to buy something for Rashida, and then started hitting me up after. I still got the messages. So yeah, sis ain't making it up." She followed the post with alleged screenshots of Kirk messaging her late at night. The timestamps aligned with the cast's filming schedule. further convincing fans that Kirk's infidelity wasn't an isolated incident. This revelation made things spiral even further. Blogs ran headlines like, "Kirk's double life, expose more women come forward and Rashida faces ultimate betrayal." Fans flooded Rashida's page again, begging her to leave him and calling her Atlanta's Khloe Kardashian for staying with a cheater. But the biggest twist was yet to come. According to one insider, Kirk himself was preparing to drop his side of the story. Allegedly, he told producers he was ready to set the record straight in a confessional-style sit-down interview. The problem? Nobody knew whether he planned to deny everything, admit guilt, or try to shift the blame onto Yandy, and given his history of downplaying scandals. Fans were bracing themselves for a messy, half-hearted apology at best. Meanwhile, Rashida's silence spoke volumes. She posted no new statements, no new videos, just pictures of her boutique and her kids. But sharp-eyed fans noticed she had removed her wedding ring in a few shots. Was that a silent message to the world? Or just a coincidence? The speculation was endless. Producers, desperate to control the firestorm, reportedly reached out to Yandy and Rashida to stage a private sit-down special where they could hash things out on camera. But sources say Yandy refused, saying, "I'm not going to sit across from a woman who hates me for telling the truth. When she's ready to face the facts, maybe then." With all this unfolding, the industry itself couldn't stay quiet. Mona Skochung, the mastermind behind the Love and Hip Hop franchise, was reportedly furious about the leaks. One insider claims she called a late-night meeting and told her team, "This franchise is built on drama, but not when it ruins people's real lives to this extent. We need to decide whether we're running a show or a circus." But the reality was undeniable. The circus had already started, and the world was watching every act, and just when fans thought the chaos had peaked, another shocking leak emerged, an alleged audio recording of Kirk arguing with Yandy backstage. In the recording, Kirk's voice could be heard saying, "Why are you trying to ruin my family? You don't know the whole story." Yandy's voice shot back, "The whole story is you cheating on your wife. Don't try to flip it on me." The clip spread like wildfire, confirming that things had gotten even uglier behind closed doors. Now everyone wanted to know, what would Rashida do next? Would Kirk finally confess? And would Yandy unleash the rest of her so-called vault? Because if part 3 of this saga cracked the foundation, part 4 had completely shattered the house dot by now. What had started as a messy reunion fallout had become a full-on cultural event. Fans weren't just gossiping anymore, they were dissecting every frame of footage, every social media post, every blurry leaked clip, and the industry. Oh, it wasn't staying silent either. Public reactions had turned into a tidal wave, and industry insiders were scrambling to navigate the storm. The fan response hit like an earthquake across platforms. On Twitter, hashtags like #KirkExposed, #YonDY got receipts, and #ProtectRasheed trended worldwide for 3 straight days. TikTok creators churned out reenactments, memes, and conspiracy theories, some even pretending to be the other women Kirk allegedly had affairs with, satirizing his excuses with captions like "he told me he was single." Others spliced old reunion clips of Rashida crying. It's the current footage, painting her as the ultimate tragic figure of love and hip-hop. But on Instagram, the divide was sharper. Yandy's followers flooded her comments with support, praising her bravery for exposing Kirk's lies. "Sis just spoke what we all knew but were too scared to say," one fan wrote. Another posted, "Yandy got more backbone than the whole cast combined. Give her a spin-off already." Meanwhile, Rashida's comments were split down the middle. Some sympathized with her heartbreak, while others brutally criticized her for staying with Kirk despite his repeated betrayals. "How many times does he gotta embarrass you before you wake up?" one person asked. At this point, Rashida, you the problem? On the flip side, Kirk's page turned into a battlefield. The comment section was a war zone of clown emojis, gifs of cheating scandals, and endless variations of "do better, bro." Some even tagged Rashida under his posts, begging her to leave him. Others defended him, insisting the footage was edited or that Yandy was blowing things out of proportion. But the overwhelming majority roasted him, with fans turning his name into a trending verb. Don't get frosted, meaning don't get cheated on by a man who swears he loves you. And then came the celebrity reactions. The hip-hop community was loud. Remy Ma jumped into the chaos on her IG Live saying, "I told y'all reality TV ain't for weak marriages. Kirk been sloppy, Rashida been protecting him. But Yandy? She came with the ammo. And honestly, if you ask me, Rashida's beef is with Kirk, not Yandy." Her words went viral, with fans agreeing that Rashida's misdirected anger was only shielding the real culprit. Tamar Braxton, never one to stay quiet, doubled down on her earlier tweet with a full-on Instagram rant. Ladies, let this be a lesson. Loyalty is cute until it destroys your spirit. If a man gotta keep being exposed on national TV for you to see who he really is, then baby, you not in a marriage, you in a circus. That comment caught fire, getting picked up by the Shade Room and Hollywood Unlocked, fueling even more debates. Even Safari chimed in, posting a cryptic story with a bunch of popcorn emojis and the caption, "This is better than Netflix." Erica Mena, still at the center of the storm for her alleged role in the scandal, broke her silence with a shady tweet. "Funny how I'm always the villain, but truth always comes out eventually." That line sent fans spiraling. Was she admitting the affair, denying it, or just stirring the pot for relevance? Nobody knew, but the ambiguity kept her trending. Industry insiders weren't just reacting, though, they were recalculating. VH1 reportedly saw a massive spike in streaming numbers for old LHHATL seasons, with fans revisiting Kirk and Rashida's past scandals to connect the dots. It's a goldmine. One producer allegedly said, "Mess like this keeps the show alive. But it's also dangerous once the cast feels too exploited. They start pulling out receipts we can't control." And that danger was becoming real. Several blogs claimed VH1 was quietly considering damage control, with talk of offering Rashida and Kirk a private counseling session filmed for TV. But sources close to Rashida insisted she wasn't interested in showcasing her breakdown for ratings this time. One insider told the Jasmine brand, "Rashida feels humiliated enough. She's not doing another therapy arc. She's focused on her kids and her business." Meanwhile, Bet allegedly approached Yandy with an offer for her own docu-series focusing on her life outside LHH. Nothing was confirmed, but rumors of spin-offs only added fuel to the fire. Fans speculated that VH1 might even cut Kirk out completely if the backlash didn't die down, though. Ironically, his scandals were boosting ratings more than anything else. But beyond the entertainment world, the scandal sparked bigger conversations about marriage, loyalty, and women publicly defending men who repeatedly betray them. Talk shows picked it up, with hosts on The Breakfast Club debating whether Rashida's loyalty was admirable or self-destructive. Charlamagne Tha God bluntly said, "At some point, we've got to stop feeling sorry for Rashida. She choosing to stay." Yandy put the truth out there, and Rashida mad at the wrong person. At the same time, fans drew comparisons between Rashida's situation and other reality TV couples like Chrissy and Jim Jones, Tiny and T.I., even Remy Ma and Papoose. Memes popped up comparing Rashida's loyalty to Khloe Kardashian's infamous forgiveness of Tristan Thompson. Suddenly, Rashida wasn't just a character on LHHATL, she was being held up as the poster child for women trapped in toxic cycles of love and betrayal. And the ripple effects didn't stop there. Sponsors reportedly started questioning their partnerships. According to one gossip outlet, skincare brand that had just inked a deal with Rashida's boutique was considering pulling out, citing the negative press clouding her brand. Meanwhile, Yandy's influence only grew. Brands were allegedly approaching her for collaborations, seeing her as the bold truth teller of the moment. But the most shocking industry reaction came from Mona Scott-Young herself. Word leaked that she was furious, not at Yandy for dropping receipts, not at Kirk for cheating, but at the leaks that escaped her editing control. Allegedly, Mona told her team, "We can sell drama, but we can't sell chaos. The minute the cast starts running the show on social media, we lose our grip." Her fear wasn't just about ratings, it was about the future of the franchise. If Yandy really had a vault of receipts, what stopped other cast members from doing the same? What if everyone bypassed the cameras and leaked their own truth? The whole empire could crumble. For fans, though, that lack of control only made things juicier. They wanted more leaks, more chaos, more raw footage. On Reddit, fans demanded VH1 release the uncut reunion, with one thread gaining thousands of upvotes, calling it the realest season ever. Some even launched petitions, insisting networks stop protecting cheaters and start airing everything by the end of the week. The scandal wasn't just about Kirk attacking Yandy or Rashida's silence. It had become a referendum on love and hip-hop itself, a test of whether the franchise could handle drama this explosive without collapsing under its own weight. And the public was crystal clear. They weren't looking away anytime soon, because the only thing bigger than the betrayal was the anticipation of what would come next. Just when everyone thought the dust was starting to settle, the final twist ripped through the love and hip-hop universe like a nuclear bomb. Fans had already dissected the fight, the leaks, the betrayals, but what nobody expected was the shocking move Kirk Frost made behind the scenes. One that would not only blindside Rashida and Yandy, but also threaten to tear apart the entire franchise from the inside out. It started quietly, almost too quietly, with whispers that Kirk had been meeting with attorneys. At first, fans brushed it off. They assumed it was divorce talk, the usual legal shuffle that follows reality TV scandals. But then receipts began surfacing. Leaked emails showed Kirk wasn't just considering divorce, he was allegedly preparing a lawsuit against Yandy and VH1, claiming defamation, breach of contract, and emotional distress. The moment those leaks hit the blogs, chaos exploded all over again. Some fans laughed at the audacity. Kirk suing Yandy for telling the truth is peak comedy, one fan wrote on Twitter. Others weren't so sure. If Kirk really got legal ammo, this could change everything. VH1 might have to cut whole storylines, another posted. But the real bombshell was buried in the fine print of those leaks. Kirk was allegedly threatening to expose production secrets if the network didn't back him up. One line in particular sent shockwaves across social media: "If they air anything further that damages my family, I will release footage and communications that prove how much manipulation goes into these storylines." That single sentence flipped the entire narrative. Suddenly, fans weren't just talking about Kirk the cheater. They were speculating about Kirk the whistleblower. What if he actually had proof of staged scenes, planted rumors, or producer-led setups? What if the drama that had kept audiences hooked for years wasn't as raw as they believed? Rashida, caught in the crossfire, reportedly went silent. For days, she didn't post a thing, didn't go live, didn't clap back, and that silence spoke louder than any words. Insiders claimed she was furious at Kirk, not just for embarrassing her again, but for dragging their family into potential legal warfare that could endanger her businesses. One source close to her boutique told the Shade Room, "Rashida is done protecting him. This lawsuit talk might be the last straw." Meanwhile, Yandy wasn't backing down. She allegedly fired back on Instagram Live saying, "You can't sue somebody for speaking facts. If you want to take me to court, I'll bring every receipt I got. And trust me, I got more." That statement alone reignited the firestorm, with fans begging her to actually drop the so-called vault of evidence. Memes flooded timelines with captions like, "Yandy about to bring the Wi-Fi down with her Dropbox link." VH1 found itself in an impossible position. On one hand, Kirk's threats could destroy the credibility of the franchise if he really exposed production secrets. On the other, cutting Yandy or silencing her would alienate fans who now saw her as the heroine of the season. Industry insiders claimed Mona Scott Young held emergency meetings with executives. weighing whether to lean into the scandal or try to rein it in. It's a ticking time bomb. One insider allegedly said, "No matter what they do, someone's receipts are going to come out." And then, just when things couldn't get any messier, a new leak appeared. This time, it wasn't a blurry video or an Instagram rant. It was a screenshot of a text thread allegedly between Kirk and another cast member. In it, Kirk hinted that he wasn't the only one with secrets. "If they want war, I'll burn the whole house down." You know, they ain't ready for the truth about who Rashida been talking. It's behind the scenes. That one line sent fans into absolute meltdown. Who was Rashida secretly talking to? Was it another cast member? A celebrity? A rival network? Speculation went wild, with theories ranging from her reconnecting with past love and hip-hop stars like K. Michelle, to rumors of her being courted by Netflix for a THOL documentary. Some even suggested she'd been in secret talks with Mona's competitors to finally tell her side of the story without VH1's editing spin. Rashida's silence only fueled the speculation. Every day she stayed quiet, fans grew more convinced that she was hiding something bigger than anyone realized. Meanwhile, Kirk's cryptic moves had turned him from the villain into a wild card, unpredictable, unhinged, and possibly armed with game-changing evidence. But the final, chilling moment came when Yandy went live one last time before suddenly logging off mid-sentence. In the stream, she was heated, pacing, clearly debating whether to spill something explosive. She said, "I've been quiet about this part, but if Kirk really want to play games, then the world deserves to know who's been protecting him this whole time." Because let me tell you, it ain't just Rashida. There's somebody higher up who, and then the screen went black. Fans lost their minds. Was it a glitch? Did someone shut her down? Or did Yandy deliberately pull the plug to keep the suspense boiling? Within minutes, hashtags like #YandyY cut off and #VH1 pulled the plug were trending. With conspiracy theories running rampant, some swore production stepped in to stop her. Others claimed she backed out at the last second, realizing the fallout would be too dangerous. But one thing was undeniable. Yandy had just hinted at a cover-up bigger than anyone expected. That cliffhanger left the entire cast, the industry, and millions of fans dangling on the edge of chaos. Would Kirk really file the lawsuit? Would Rashida finally break her silence? Would Yandy unleash her full arsenal of receipts? And most importantly, who was the mysterious higher-up allegedly protecting Kirk all this time? The love and hip-hop world had seen scandals before, but never one this explosive. Never one that blurred the lines between TV drama and real-life destruction so dangerously. And now, with threats of lawsuits, spin-offs, and shocking secrets still looming, the future of the franchise itself was hanging by a thread. Because if Yandy or Kirk dropped the wrong bomb, it wouldn't just be the end of a marriage or a friendship. It could be the end of love and hip-hop as we know it. And that's the final twist nobody saw coming, family. After everything we've just broken down, one thing is clear. This love and hip-hop drama is far from over. Kirk Frost isn't just fighting with Rashida and Yandy, he's fighting the entire narrative. Maybe even the franchise itself. From explosive fights to shocking receipts. From lawsuits to whispers of a cover-up at the highest level, we are witnessing history in real time. And if you thought this season was messy before, trust me, the storm we're about to walk into makes everything else look like child's play. But now the question falls on you. Where do you stand? Are you riding with Yandy as she refuses to be silenced and threatens to drop every receipt she's been holding back? Are you siding with Rashida, who's been dragged into public humiliation and is silently plotting her next move? Or are you watching Kirk's every step, waiting to see if he really has the power to bring down VH1 itself? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to know if you're Team Yandy, Team Rashida, or Team Kirk. Or if you think all of them have gone way too far. And don't hold back, because your voice matters in this conversation. And of course, if you don't want to miss the next jaw-dropping twist, and trust me, there are receipts and leaks already circling that could flip this story upside down. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe and turn on those notifications, because the next chapter in this saga could break the internet, and you'll want to be the first to know. Stay tuned, stay locked in, but buckle up because the mess has only just begun.